Welcome back to the Energy Show. I'm Eric Scott with Ron Urban, the president and CEO of Advanced Solar and Energy Solutions. All right, a lot of you have been asking, if I'm a commercial business, how do I make money? How does my solar system pay for itself and make me a better, more competitive company? That's what we're going to educate you about today. So, Ron, this is critical. If you are a business in New Jersey, or if you have any kind of commercial property, we know what we face economically in the Garden State. This could potentially be a game changer.
So one of our biggest operating expenses for a company, especially a manufacturer, builder, or somebody, is his electric bill. And by even the large, huge, giant companies, they have people that project their profits for 10 years from now. People don't realize this, but in New Jersey, they can never do it because of the utilities and how bad we rise so fast and whatever. So I try to educate my customers, like one of the best investments, if you buy a solar system and combine with some energy efficiencies and things, you win. You win. By the way, John's here from Lawler Woodwork, and John's company is actually to the point now he's getting ready to sell his building, which is kind of interesting too. But I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years ago or more, he did a system with us. The system paid it off. He calls me all the time. We became friends. Holy crap, it's all paid off. I'm getting another check. I'm doing this. Even selling his business, which we're going to get into a little bit, he's keeping these checks, lucrative checks. His system's been paid, helped out, make him be more competitive in the industry. So maybe you could just, I know he had a high electric bill, just tell us a little bit about your system.
Okay. I believe you put on, I think it's 85,000 kilowatts, whatever. And there's like 325 panels on the roof. And our electric bill might be $0 to $100 for a month, where it was like $1,500 a month.
Yeah, and keep in mind, I mean, John, we're talking about a woodworking shop here, and not a small one. So every single piece of equipment you had on your floor powered by electricity.
Correct.
So that had to be one of your biggest operating expenses was your electric bill, right? So when you called Ron and Ron came in and he took a look at your building and everything that you were doing and plans for expansion, right? I mean, you were going to expand your business as well. He was able to actually eliminate one of your biggest operating expenses?
That is correct. And also, while he got in there to see while the building was getting added on to, he moved the electric around. He upped the service to 600 amp service. He moved electric to different areas in the building so we don't have to pull from the main panel. So if we're going to put something in the back of the building, adding on, you only have to go to that panel back there. So he re-engineered where all the machines go and how to lay out the building. So he helped me more than just doing the solar panels.
And again, we've talked in so many episodes of the Energy Show about how the experience, the design, the build, the engineering, the electrical engineering, all of those things come together with Advanced Solar and Energy Solutions to complete an entire project. From the very start to the very finish, you're going to deal with one point of contact. That's going to be Ron. And he's going to put all of this stuff together for you. And I think, Ron, there's a lot of skeptics out there, but imagine if you in New Jersey, if you're a struggling business and you eliminate your biggest or one of your biggest operating expenses, how do you not do that?
So by the way, something else that I look at, and I've been doing my whole life, it's a little crazy how I got business. As an electrical contractor, I redesigned your whole building before you moved in. If it was a plastic manufacturer, this. So at John's building, not only did we do the solar and everything, once he got in, by the way, the engineers and the architects, as soon as I met him, I know that they didn't give him enough electricity for what he's going to do in the future. So I stopped it. By the way, in between too, when he has a lot of machines, a woodworking shop has dust collectors and things. So we designed and worked with them all the dust collectors. We put it in. We help them. We look at a business and see how your people are working and maneuvering, and we'll make it more efficient from you. From your machinery to your lighting, to your electric, to your gas, to your water. So it's one company does it all. If anything goes wrong, they call us. They love us. By the way, he got prices from contractors to do some of the stuff that we did for half the price, and it'll be done in 9 months. We did it in 4.5 weeks. So with the education that I have in the industry with commercial buildings, industrial buildings and things, it's a whole, you're buying it's way different than a solar project. So we went, by the way, a lot of times we have to upgrade their services in building. We're doing a huge food manufacturer right now in New Jersey where we had to redo their roofs. We're redoing their electricity because before they're ready just almost to crash with their electric. Even the owner goes, you do all this? This is insane. Should I call my roofer? Should I call my plumbers? No, we're taking care of it.
Yeah.
So we look at it as like a shell, an envelope. And by the way, everything that we add into that envelope is reducing your electric. A lot of times the solar guy, he wants more electric.
Right.
A lot of times I'll look at something and go, what do you want to look at all this stuff for? Don't you guys get more money? I say, do, but if I can reduce it, it's even a better plus for you and you're going to run more efficiently in everything you do.
When you first met Ron, John, and he started talking about all of these things, were you skeptical about it?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, right?
But as I got to know him and as the job got done, you changed all the lighting too. The old lighting, you changed all the lighting to new efficient lighting. And I think that we had 200 amp service in the building and I was getting 400 and you did an audit on how much thing you go down, you're going to run out. You're not going to be able to use that machine and that machine at the same time. That's why we went to 600 amp, 480, and we got plenty of electric in the building.
By the way, his GC and his electrical contractor told me I can't put the electric that I want in there. So I told John, this is a quickie. I says, I'll get a meeting. I'll get it all set up with the power company, have them there. They're going to shut me off and they're going to say they did this. John flipped out. I called them. I started talking. Who called the utility company? And the utility company said no at first. I said about 2 sentences. They talked. I walked away and we put the bigger power in, everything that he needed at the right voltage and everything else. So my experience is decades and decades of experience setting up plants, buildings, whatever. And what people don't get, I designed the whole place. And I talked about the self-storage industry. I did the unit mixes. I owned them. I did the lighting, the HVAC. I was the first guy to do multiple story buildings with no penetrations in a roof. It's pretty cool what I do. And everything I do, there's a reason it's going to save you or make you money in the future.
Yeah. And by the way, if you know that you need a new roof on your commercial building and you're terrified of that process and the cost, and I know a lot of business owners are, give Ron a call. He's going to have a solution for you that is going to make sense for you. These are the types of things that when we talk about on the Energy Show, the relationships, the experience, not having to sub things out. Ron uses his own workers. He uses his own panel of experts to put together a design plan for you. You literally will walk through a building, and John, you're testament to that, and identify things in that building that either could be improved, done better, redesigned as all part of a plan that comes together with incentives and rebates and all of this other stuff.
So something that cracks me up, my whole family's engineers on the black sheet, right? I'll walk through a building. I did it in one of these buildings on here. It was 160,000 square feet with the owner. He was contracted with engineering firms for energy efficiency, how he has to redo his building. He was up to $120,000. I walked through the building in 2.5 hours. I walked through the roof. The next day, I gave him an extensive report, everything that had to be done. But on top of that, I also gave him a report how much to do with the right energy efficiency projects where he gets his money back. No one in the industry does that. And that's what we do. That's what sets us apart.
Yeah, you're going to see it in black and white. I mean, you got the book of Ron, right?
Yes,
I
have it.
You got the whole thing all spelled out. Did he meet every one of the goals and promises that he set out?
And I brought it to, he told me to bring it to the accountant, which I did, while everything was good.
Yeah, I mean, that's really where the rubber meets the road, right? I mean, if you're a business owner, we want your accountant to be involved. We want your accountant to look at this because that accountant is going to tell you, you need to make this investment in your business.
I'm 100 for 100 with accountants and engineers. That sometimes the business owner doesn't understand. He sees this crazy number. It's a ton of money. It pays itself off real fast. They get all the incentives and breaks and stuff. And it's just like you just upgrade your whole building. You increase the value of your business. Some we do $1 million, $2 million.
Well, that's the other thing too. You know, imagine if you go to sell your building at some point and you're telling a prospective buyer, you don't have this operating expense. You don't have an electric bill if you buy my building. What's that worth?
Oh, yeah. So John is in the process of selling his building. And by the way, one of the things he's been asking me, he has his book, he gave it to the new buyer. but he's keeping the checks that are coming in.
Right, which is all an option.
thousands
Yep.
and thousands of dollars a year. It's his bonus for doing a
So
job.
you're selling your building, and your sold building that you don't own anymore is still making you money.
Correct.
Yeah. I mean, look, listen, we've talked about this for a long time. You know that there's incentives. You know there's rebate programs. You know all of these things. The danger is that this stuff could potentially be going away.
Well, it's pretty scary right now.
Yeah.
The time to do it is now. There's a new administration who I love, but they're going to put the kibosh on a lot of this stuff. A lot of these incentives were supposed to stop years ago. And it's not uncommon that our government, forget about solar, everybody has a bad taste about it, even natural gas, anything that came, there was incentives for it. The government likes to jumpstart a lot of things, but then later they might get you. But right now is the time to do it, really, like yesterday.
Yeah, because right now, not only are you eliminating that huge operating expense of an electric bill and potentially even your gas bill, but you're also giving yourself insurance against rising energy costs, which, have continued to go up. I'm sure you're not paying less than you were 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago. You're paying more. That's why it's important that you give Ron a call or email today at the numbers and contacts you see on your screen right now. Schedule an appointment and get educated about how this is supposed to work. Thanks for watching The Energy Show.